If you think about it, a song is a poem with a melody. Like poems, sometimes it is the words to a song that hold more meanings than they let on. Other times it is the story behind the words that's even more extraordinary. It is all in the words. The lyrics of a song are much more than just a mere component. So we take some time each week to take a closer look into the lyrics in the words and making sure nothing gets lost in translation. We have the hottest lyricist in Korea, Eana Kim, in the studio with us today. Happy Thursday. Hi, Eana.
Hi, Lena.
You have a really pretty dress on today.
Thank you.
I love it. It's totally my style.
Yeah, and it's very cheap too.
Even better.
I know, the best.
Even better. But yeah, you look very professional and on the go.
I try to look very
Really?
professional because I had another schedule
Okay.
before. So
right.
that's kind of why.
Oh, I see. Because sometimes we get to see you in the studio and you seriously are enjoying the summer, and I love to see you in the shorts and banana slippers. So cute. Seriously, you look like a college student.
Oh, the ironic thing is that banana slipper is it's like my 9-inch. I mean, it's very high heel to me.
They are platforms.
Yeah, those are very the pair of shoes that
Right.
I wear when I want to look very good. So
They look good. They
those
look
are
good.
not thongs, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I love them. I love them.
those are very formal shoes of me.
Oh, okay, because of the height.
Yeah, a height and the cute bananas.
It is, the cute bananas. That's when you're trying to dress to impress.
Yeah, dress to impress. That rhymes.
Yeah. All right. I am kind of fascinated by this week. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot. I only know very, very simple information, and so I feel like we're going to get a really great insight on today's theme. We're going to specifically look at the works of one artist.
Yes.
So explain this week's theme for us, or topic for us.
So actually, it's not a theme, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
guess not a
person.
theme. It is a person. Yeah.
Yes. It's our beloved artist, Jonghyun.
Jonghyun, formerly of SHINee.
Yes.
Rest in peace. He did pass away earlier. This year, is it last year? Late last year?
Yes.
So we're going to focus on Jonghyun's works as a lyricist specifically.
Yes.
He's a man of many talents. He also composes, and obviously we all know how wonderful a performer he was.
Yes.
But today we're looking at his lyrics. Now,
Yes.
what inspired you to choose this topic?
I recently, come to think of it now, the schedule I did today was also related to the movie. And I'm planning to do this, do you know what GV is? It's a GV. It's a when a movie gets started, and people and me and some other movie columnists we share some talks and thoughts. So I had to watch the movie before it's opened.
What movie are you referring to?
It's Adrift.
Adrift.
Yeah, it's to be opened coming on early September.
I see.
And that movie kind of reminded me of him.
Oh, okay.
And it's about how when you love somebody really truly and deeply, and even if that person is not near with you anymore, that person is like living with us somewhere.
I know what you
as
mean.
our some kind of, I called it 지표. I don't know how I could put that in words.
There are some people in your lives that, that you haven't seen and probably never will see again, but still has a constant presence in your life. There are definitely people, whether it be, people you would be happy to see again or not happy to see again. I definitely have those people in my life. I'm sure many of our listeners can agree.
Yeah. And also, people kind of, I was kind of having a hard time talking about Jonghyun, especially when I'm in the studio or shooting some program.
I see.
Because, I kind of was worried that it might kind of let the moods down too much because I have to admit, I'm still so sad, and everybody is.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think it's good for me or other people to avoid his name.
True.
Yeah.
Yes, it shouldn't be a taboo or something we start to whisper or just not talk about. Or yeah, I mean, it's a fact of life.
Yeah, so as much as I miss him, I'm going to talk about him a lot more.
I think that's a good thing. I think that's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
We should be doing, definitely so. And so, obviously, we're going to go look not only into some works that he did as, solo singles, but works that he wrote for other artists. Really great, huge roster of fantastic artists wanted to work with him, all recognized his musicianship from the very get-go. And plus, we're going to even listen to some shiny songs that he helped out on.
Sure.
That's going to be great. So which song shall we listen to first?
It's 우울시계.
우울시계.
By IU. And he also featured as a singer.
As a singer, okay. This song was purely composed, lyrics and music by Jonghyun. And 우울시계, I guess the English title is A Gloomy Clock. Would you think that's a good translation? I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
But I don't think we can exactly put these words into other foreign language.
Very true.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thing throughout today's all other songs.
Yes,
it's a
agree.
sense of Jonghyun is that he deals with words in very different perspective of views.
I remember I didn't have that much time to go into too much detail, but yes, skimming across the words, especially with seeing with our staff writer, there were some really amazing moments of things that he did with language.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I think we're going to be talking a lot about not getting things lost in translation today. That's going to be one of our biggest jobs, I think. So starting with gloomy clock, that's 우울시계. 우울, sure, it means gloomy. But it also means depressed. And it's a quiet depression, not this raging depression, right?
Yeah.
우울하다.
And it's not, in Korean word, it's not an adjective. 우울시계, so it's what's a noun for gloomy? Gloom.
So it's more like gloom clock,
yes.
or depression clock.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a bit difference, but,
yeah, but
kind of huge in meaning.
Very, very huge. Definitely so.
Yeah. So usually people, if I were the lyricist, I would just write it, the gloomy clock.
Right, right. Like that would be 우울한 시계.
우울한 시계.
Right. That's a distinction.
Yes, but that was always the attractive thing about Jonghyun, that how he is dealing, he plays with Korean as if he's not a native language.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I actually had the opposite reaction. I thought that he truly played with the language.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
so to the point where
sometimes to the point where I thought we are going to have a hard time explaining some of his very clever language tricks into English. But we're going to try. But yeah, he does. He has that. I know what you're talking about. That fourth dimension we call 사차원, or something like outside of the box way of looking at language. Not like a typical Korean who takes the words for granted, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's what
Yeah.
Very true. Like an alien who comes to Earth and looks at Korean and say, "Did you ever notice this looks like this?" And you go, "No."
Exactly.
That's what the great writers do.
I know.
That is really what they do.
And the context of this lyrics is very unique because this was the very first song that he gave out to other artists.
Wow, that's a very significant song.
Yeah.
It's the first song that he gave to a different artist. And of all artists, that was IU.
Because they were very close friends.
Ah, okay.
And IU wanted to get a song from Jonghyun. So she told her producer that she wanted, and of course the producer loved it. And although he was in very busy schedule, he was gladly participating with her work. So and the music is great too, but we don't have much time to cover, so we're just gonna talk about the lyrics. So usually when you say you're depressed or sad or gloomy, you usually only talk about loneliness when you're especially when you're young.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But his gloominess in this song is kind of we can't really point out what point exactly he's feeling kind of lonely or depressed with.
Right.
So it's overall, time is flowing kind of meaninglessly. And the most shocking or brilliant part to me was here. Dulled. Squares are dull to make circles. So I think this line kind of tells what Jonghyun was having hard feelings with, I guess.
The fleetingness of things.
Yes.
I feel, first of all, there's a lot of repetition in this song. The repetition in of itself does make it feel like the clock that unforgivingly just keeps ticking, whether you want it to or not, doesn't even ask you permission.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's going on when he wrote the song. It sounds like that clock. And the clock is the clock of not gloom, almost doom.
Yeah.
And yes, something happened and it was so big for him, right? He wrote, even the heart-tearing breakups, even the young memories that keep us up at night, tick-tock, tick-tock, just going by.
Yes.
And even the lyrics of the song makes me feel like this tick-tocking of the clock. But that does blow my mind too. Dulled. The memories of sharp emotions, dulled. Squares are dull to make circles.
Yes. There are certain parts in our hearts that are in shapes of squares or stars or whatever, or even triangles, right? So they have pointy points.
Right.
But then usually we intend to become kind of dull as we grow up, right?
Right.
And people don't usually get depressed about it.
Right.
But this was the point where he felt
where he's not
hard.
feeling that sharpness anymore, and then that's worrisome, and why, and asking why.
Right? And I think it had to do with some kind of identity, maybe. So it makes me think of a lot of things.
Yeah,
so that was
a
great line.
It does. It pulls up a lot of things. The song in and of itself, if you just look at the lyrics by itself, it's so interesting to look at. Very poetic, lots of repetition, and I have never listened to the music of it, so I can't wait to listen to putting the words to the music and seeing what the total effect is. So let's listen to the first song for today. It is 우울시계, A Gloomy Clock or Gloom Clock by IU featuring Jonghyun. 우울하다 우울해 지금 이 시간은 That was 우울시계, A Gloomy Clock by IU featuring Jonghyun. I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting something more depressing. But it has actually, I don't know. I thought it was brilliant. The guitar always constantly with the rhythm, matching in time with the clock ticking, where almost I don't have time to even process that I'm sad. I'm sad.
Yeah.
But you're just moving along with the rhythm. Was this very, I don't know, weird effect of the song for me. Eerie.
So it's definitely talking about gloominess or depression, but he's not making it sound like it's very sad and bad thing.
Right. It's there. It's natural. It's happening. We have a message from Jaden Choi. 게스트분이 김이나님인가요? So I have to tell you what's been going on. Our website and a KBS World Radio website and our Kong application got revamped, redesigned. And because of this redesign, suddenly about 3 times more people know that we're doing this radio show.
Now I'm nervous.
So we're getting a lot of new listeners.
Hi, people.
And there's a lot of people who are very surprised that I'm here. They're like, your voice sounds so familiar. You sound just like Park Jonghyun.
Oh my god, that is so
it's
funny.
like, I know that's me, but in English. And so here we have another instance. I think it's a new listener saying, wait a minute, is that Kimina's voice? Gotta be a big fan if they recognize your voice speaking even English.
Wow.
But yes, it is.
Yes, I am. I'm Kimina. Thank you for recognizing me.
Yes, and every Thursday you can find her right here in the studio with me. We are taking a look at the lyrical works of Jonghyun, our dearly departed, former member of SHINee, but a very, very respected musician, fledgling musician in his own right. And we just listened to a song that he gave IU, the very first song that he gave to another artist. It's very significant. And he gave something that maybe perhaps was close to his heart. All right, moving on to our next song then.
It's View. It's a beautiful number by Shiny.
Oh, yes. View by Shiny.
Yes, and for this song, it's a foreign artist work.
Right.
And the lyrics were only written by Jonghyun.
Right. SM writers from Europe, I think it was, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And
pretty.
The thing is, I talked about this on other show before, but I was in this, what can I say, competition for lyrics also, and I got kicked, I guess. 까였어.
You got kicked off?
Kicked off because of Jonghyun's great lyrics.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I mean, but that's not something like, whoa, how can that happen kind of thing, because that happened often, pretty often, because there are a lot of great lyricists out there. But that time, I was so sure that my lyrics would, be take that okay sign.
Right.
Yeah, because I was so loving my work also. And also
we all know how that feels.
And that SM people were also liking it.
Right.
And we only needed one person's opinion.
I see.
That was, I assume, it's the President Lee.
Right.
And maybe a week or 2 weeks later, I got a notice from SM. Oh, I'm so sorry, but
we're not using your lyrics.
The Jonghyun's is picked. So I was kind of, what? Oh, okay, whatever. All right. Yeah, I guess they liked their members.
And
more.
was it this song? It was View.
So when it came out, I had to look up the lyrics because I was so sure that mine was better.
Still better.
Yes. But then, right when I looked into the lyrics, this was something that I could never be able to write.
Wow.
Did you look into the lyrics?
I did.
I mean, this is so...
It is,
how could I say? They're dealing with five senses in totally different point of view.
Exactly. It is taking the idea of the five senses, turning it upside down.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I mean, I could try to write something like this. I mean, I think I have tried in other lyrics also, but for this lyrics, I was kind of jealous because he wrote lyrics as if he had this kind of experience. It was so live.
Right.
So if you look into the lyrics,
right,
everyone becomes speechless like you. It's a miraculous view of over 4 dimensions. And this is the interesting part.
Right.
Deep into the sweet moonlight-colored fondue, I've begun to see the color of music. So it's a total pun, first of all. If you listen in Korean.
You have to listen to it in Korean. 달콤히 찍어 문.
달콤히 찍어 문빛의 fondue. And all the rhymes and the lightness of the words.
Right.
They're so crispy.
Yeah.
I mean, this song was, when I heard it as a demo, it was very, I mean, usually the SM demos are really hard for lyricists to write words on. Yeah.
Do they come with words or are they just la,
They
la,
come
la?
with words.
Okay, that must be hard.
Yes, and usually they're written by
foreigners. Right, non-Koreans.
Yeah, so it has different rhythms, basically.
Oh, yeah. And they're not thinking of Korean language when they're writing these.
Yeah, so if you use a little bit of 딱딱한.
Right, some kind of hard non-malleable sounds.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. Yeah. And Korean language has very hard sounds. Right? And we have hard sounds. We have something called 받침, right? Where the accent becomes strong on a consonant. So sometimes it's hard to feel like that, English-speaking songs.
Butterfly-like feeling.
Where things are very... A lot of Koreans, when they're making fun of English speakers, they go, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Because it just sounds so buttery, like you said, right?
Buttery.
Yeah.
So if you try to write buttery, then the lyric becomes too light, though. In context-wise,
perhaps, yeah.
So that's a hard part for lyricists. But then Jonghyun caught the 2 point, catching the 2 rabbits, I could say. So he caught the sonic way of, catching its sonic attractiveness,
right? And
the context. It's very complex. It is so Chinese. The lyric itself is so shiny.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty.
There's so many pretty things. And yes, he's playing so much. I call it synesthesia.
Oh yeah, that word I was looking up in the encyclopedia, but then I forgot, so I couldn't say that word.
This word is an ode.
Yeah,
a celebration of synesthesia. Yes. So much sound, the color of music, the shape of sound. Those are direct quotes from his lyrics. 소리의 색과 모양. I saw this sound of color and the shape of sound. It's gorgeous.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's so free. I think this was the way of Jonghyun's talking about freedom.
Oh.
And the freedom which he wanted to reach.
Right.
I guess.
There is a freedom, especially when you see the hook. Again, lots of repetition, but it sounds like pure bliss, right? But such a beautiful view is the lyrics, but in Korean, you have to hear it in Korean where it's 너무 아름다운, down. Like, it's his own echo, his own reality, right?
Oh, that part, there's an interesting story also. 너무 down view. So the guy was like that too. So all the lyricists, including me, I guess, wrote it down, the English, the D-O-W-N.
They kept the D-O-W-N.
Yes, because there is no other better way to express the melody. So the most creative way was that 아름다운. I think I wrote the same line to 아름다운 down, but the brilliant part is not there. It's a 더 보여줘 다음 view. I wouldn't be able to come up with this expression.
더 보여줘 다음. The next view. And it's a perfect rhythm match and rhyme match with down.
I know.
That's clever, but it's its own word, whereas down is just the echo part of the last part of the word. There's so many little grammatical things that are going in here.
It's a piece of art.
It is a real piece of art. Maybe we'll try and get into a little more. I don't want to take away too much time from the other songs, so let's listen to SHINee's View. We just listened to SHINee with View. We is me and Eana. Eana Kim, lyricist extraordinaire. We are talking about the lyrics and works of Jonghyun, who is formerly of SHINee, and formerly in his own fantastic musician in his own right. And he is the subject, our very special subject for today's The Words. We just listened to SHINee's View, and we were saying during the song, we love how we listen to a song and we go, oh, that's SHINee.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah. I think that's hard to accomplish as an idol
totally.
Group. But I loved SHINee. All my girlfriends too were all SHINee fans.
I know. They're like
lots
soda
of Nuna sarang.
I know.
Right?
When you think of SHINee, I imagine myself drinking like cold cup of soda.
Yeah, like something fizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fruit flavored for me.
Very colorful.
Very refreshing.
I know.
Yeah, lots of positivity.
Feeling so live.
Yeah, definitely so. Okay, moving on to our next song. This is one of the more well-known works of Jonghyun that he gave to another artist.
Yes, and the most hit song of his work of as a
songwriter.
Yeah, songwriter.
Okay. And the song is, of course, 한숨, Breathe, performed by Ihai. Yes.
So we all know how beautiful this song is.
Yes.
And when I remember she sang this song at the end of the year. There was a lot of award.
Right, the award
seasons.
The award TV performances.
Yes.
And she sang this.
And she couldn't sing along some part of it, but then she didn't show her tears.
Right.
to the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, was it... I remember hearing about this performance from somebody else. I don't remember. But it was sort of in memoriam to Jonghyun. It was dedicated to him. I personally would never have been able to do it if I was Ihai.
Oh, yeah.
If Ihai was me, I'd be like, no. I would not be able to probably even start that first note, let alone get through the song.
But you never know, though. Maybe you would totally just, become some other person to... decide that
you have to channel or feel like a responsibility. Yes. Like, okay, I am a messenger. Yes. And I think that Ihai, as young as she is, was incredibly composed and elegant in this in the performance of this song, which already, without the context of Jonghyun's passing, tragic passing, it's already a tearjerker song.
I know. So that's why, and it was so comforting.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, it's not a sad story, but it's so comforting that makes people cry.
Yeah, yeah.
When you feel so comforted.
It's super simple.
Yeah.
But the fact that the simplicity of somebody reaching out and saying, I will hold you, and that it is okay to be sad, it was in a strange way, I think a lot of people said at the time, Jonghyun's way of comforting us.
I know.
Yeah.
And I found that... when he passed away, I was thinking a lot of things that if I were to see him right before, when he was alive, then what I could tell him.
Right.
That all the things that I would want to tell him was in this lyrics.
Really?
Yes. Something like, I won't be able to understand its depth, but it's okay, I'll hold you. Right. So we will never know what kind of time, hardness he went through. But we don't have to know. So
that's true.
So fans don't need to be,
they don't have to sit and analyze. Yes, exactly. And then this is actually my favorite line in the song as all. I won't be able to understand its death. Your weighted breath, 무거운 숨을, right? The way that you're figuring out, the way that you're trying to get over it. I can never understand.
Yes.
Okay, and this is my favorite lyric also because that is what you really should be telling somebody who is grieving and comforting. I think if I'm feeling really down or something was going on, one of the worst things that people would hear is like, oh, I know what you're going through.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Oh, I know. And it's like...
We could never know.
Don't say that you know.
No.
And, it's one of those words that, this is what really speaks to someone who is grieving.
Yes.
I don't know, but I'm here. And I don't know if that helps, but that's what I can do, and that's what I'll do. This is truly somebody who has that depth, who understands human relationships.
Yes.
Right.
And from this one line, I could totally tell how much Jonghyun wanted to give comfort to other people.
Yeah, definitely so.
I mean, I would never be able to find out how deeply he was having a hard time, but I could definitely know that he did have so much time trying to figure out how he could comfort other people, that his beloved people, or all the fans or out there, or the music listeners, because that line that you just picked up before is something. It's not an easy thing for a young person to say when you truly want to comfort some other person.
It's true. It's true. So it's the rawness of it, the fact that he nailed it. I think that's where the impact of the song really comes from. My second favorite line, 수고했어요.
Oh, that.
Yeah, the very last line.
That's kind of hard for me to explain. I don't want to cry.
수고했어요. It's just simple acknowledgement that you have had a hard time and you are going through a hard time, and I acknowledge it, and that's what's really beautiful. Let's listen to this very well beloved song right now. It is Ihai with 한숨, Breathe. We just listened to 한숨, English title Breathe by Ihai. I'm
I know. Applause.
So beautiful. Not only is the song beautiful, the arrangement was so thoughtful. I'm still applauding over that last line. In the very end, like you said, also you were mentioning some context that's really all maybe someone wants to hear.
Yes.
That hey, you had a hard time, and we acknowledge that, and that was really gorgeous.
Yeah, he wrote in the very last letter that was the words that he wanted to.
Do you think that was a direct reference to the song that he wrote? I'm not sure.
Maybe. We could never know.
We'll
but
never know.
We could kind of assume because we could totally tell that he was always very truthful when he was writing the lyrics. So I think it definitely had something to do with his inner emotions.
Very true. But even from an artistic point of view, though, regardless of not knowing that context, I always thought it was the best ending for a song. Yeah. One of the best endings for a song that I had ever heard. For
I guess that means you also need that word too. 수고했어요. 수고했어요, Eana.
Thank you. There's people who need it much more than I do.
I know. Everybody 수고했어요.
Everybody. We are all 진짜 수고합니다.
Yeah, you've done well.
Yes, we've done well. Okay, moving on to the next song. This is actually a single by Jonghyun.
Yes.
It is.
Featuring Taeyeon, Lonely.
Lonely.
It's a song in the very last album he left. And we could tell that we started with 우울시계,
right, the gloom clock.
So at that moment, it was 2013. At that moment, his gloominess and depression was very vague. And it was not very heavy.
Exactly.
And, yes.
As we could tell from listening to IU's performance.
And I specifically said that usually when you talk about your depression, you usually say you're lonely or something.
Right.
But in that song, he didn't talk about any of that feeling. But in this song, interestingly, it's only about loneliness. So I guess his feeling kind of narrowed down to this point.
Focus into one emotion.
Yes. So, and that's why it feels so close to me whenever I hear this. The other song, it's so poetic.
Right.
So whenever I listen to them, I kind of tend to treat them like art piece.
Yeah.
So it's not like, he's sitting right next to me.
Right,
it's
exactly.
Kind of,
But you can look at it with a professional eye.
But
this is a different story. Yeah. So this is just we have to talk about Jonghyun personally because you really feel his presence here.
Yes. And very honest self of him.
In the context of the song, we have a relationship.
Oh, yeah. So it's a dialogue. The form is dialogue.
I see.
So they are both having hard time. And they both are lonely. They're trying to understand each other.
Right.
But when I heard this song, I thought this would be end in a happy ending.
Right.
But then it didn't.
Yeah, I'm looking at the song. It's is it a duet?
Yeah, it's a duet.
I see this give and take, answer and call, calling and replying, questioning, replying. I'm sorry, and then a shared hook. Baby, I am so lonely. It feels that I'm all alone, which is the most loneliest part of the song. It's ironic because it's a duet.
I know.
And they are together, both singing about how lonely they feel. When I see you tried and beat, I wonder, am I a burden to you? So they're getting
heartbreaking line though.
Yeah. They're getting to the point in this the story of the song where I feel lonely because I just can't open myself up to you.
I mean, when I personally feel the most lonely is when I feel like, I can't tell this to anybody because I know they are having a hard time already.
Yes. Definitely know what this is.
Or
I have to spare them or protect them. Yes. So for other people's own good, I have to keep it to myself.
Yeah. So if there's...
And that makes you lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I ever have chance to yell at him, then it's going to be like, you have to think about yourself, not other people so much.
Right. That's true.
This kind of worries comes when you put other people
before yourself.
Before yourself. Because when you start thinking about, if I want to talk about this, but I'm gonna be burdened for her or him.
Exactly.
So then that kind of makes him isolated.
We're together, but we don't walk side by side. And this is something that so many people can relate to. I'm having this problem with my boyfriend, but I can't tell him because he's having a hard time. And then that just creates isolation, like you said.
Let's talk, people.
수고했으니까.
Let's talk. Send us messages.
Let's listen to this. The idea of loneliness, but then put into a dialogue makes me feel like it's more lonely this way. It is Jonghyun with Lonely featuring Taeyeon. We just listened to Jonghyun with Lonely featuring Taeyeon. It was nice to actually hear his voice there out front and center. We are listening to songs that were written, kind of exploring Jonghyun's works as a lyricist on today's Words. And we have time for one more song. I'm curious to why as you picked this song for our last song.
It's Juliet by SHINee. And when I heard this song, I was like, oh my god, someone who wrote this lyrics must be so... She or he is so fresh, I thought.
I think this was maybe the first song I heard from SHINee.
Oh, really?
And I was hooked.
Oh, yeah. I totally was.
And I know exactly what you mean about fresh. I'm thinking of like 상콤, right?
Yeah.
Like biting into a lemon. Like just so fresh. So such a tangy, I don't know, slap in the face, but in a really good way.
Yeah.
What's this?
I know.
That's how I felt when I first heard this song.
Yeah, it's like orange without the peel.
Yeah.
Very fresh,
citrusy
big orange. Yeah.
Yes, very good way to put it.
So that this was the very first work that I noticed Jonghyun as a great lyricist. So that's why I wanted this to be the end of the song, and I totally didn't want to make this corner very sad and gloomy. It's so this is I wanted to end this corner with a very
positive happy note.
Happy and one of my favorite songs.
I am learning for the first time that Jonghyun was involved in the lyrics of this song.
I couldn't imagine. He was so young when he was in high school. Can you? And he sang so good.
Yes.
We have to talk about his vocal.
Right.
He sang like Michael Jackson in this song. If you listen to it,
very virtuosic.
The attacks.
Oh, that's a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
Sort of kind of like J Park. Reminds me of like maybe J Park now. 박재범 now.
Yeah.
Right, but this was Jonghyun in 2009.
When he was such a newbie.
Yes. So he had that instinct.
Yeah,
so a born performer.
First, I thought the lyricist was brilliant because that vocal was in attack-wise. Am I explaining it right?
I think attack is perfect.
Yeah?
Attack is perfect. Rhythm is perfect.
So
for me, it's the harmonies.
Oh, yeah, harmonies.
Off the hook.
Yeah, music-wise, that's true. But anyways, because and the Jonghyun's part, that attack and the rhythm was perfect. It sounded almost like some pop songs. So I thought that it was nice work of lyricist and the producer. But then I was so shocked that the lyric was written by Jonghyun himself.
Wow.
And then I was like, what, Jonghyun of that member Jonghyun?
Yeah. How
can he be? It was very, because it's really hard. If you look into it, context-wise, I have to admit that this is a lot more amateur than the work of the later.
Because we kind of went backwards here today.
Yeah, this is very early.
Right.
So it's very fresh. You could kind of sense that he is not too professional with words yet. But then he naturally had the rhythmical.
I agree. I think he's already starting to hear the words in that fifth dimension kind of perspective already.
Yeah, that's the exact point I wanted to point out. That he was not like a professional lyricist kind of just person
with experience at his craft and everything like that.
But then the way he deals and plays with words was just incredible. So I I always kind of bragged about myself that I always knew he would be a great lyricist from the Juliet.
From the beginning. It's cute. You know, like, remember when we were talking about View from Shiny, and then you were talking about how it's there's like this tiptoeing quality to his words, and we see that here too. And you have to have it. It has to be easy to sing.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're going to listen. Actually, we're going to end out our show today with Juliet. Thank you so much, Eana, for this special topic on Jonghyun. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you back here tomorrow. We're going to say goodbye with Shiny's Juliet.